G'day mates, I've been testing the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro Max for the last couple of days, and I just wanted to dive in very quickly and share some thoughts on the biggest hardware change in this year's models, which is the shutter button on the phone, the camera shutter button on the phone. Now, there's a couple of things that I really want to call out. Number one is that it's a nice addition. I quite like it, but there is a real change in user habits that's required in order to get used to it. I found myself over the weekend taking lots of photos, but still using this shutter button on the screen out of habit. So there's a real learning curve just in terms of remembering that the button is there and that you need to press it. The second thing that I wanted to call out is maybe it's just me. Maybe I am a bit weird, maybe I'm a bit unique, but I find that the options to scroll through the different options here feel counterintuitive to me. So I expect that when I scroll this way, I would be zooming out. When I scroll to the left, I should zoom out. And when I scroll to the right, I should be zooming in, which I think is, a callback to digital cameras, right? Where you've got a zoom button or a zoom toggle on the camera and you push it to the right in order to zoom in and to the left in order to zoom out. Whereas here, it's the opposite of that, which seems a little bit counterintuitive to me. The other thing that I really am struggling with, I guess, is I know Apple has said that there will be the ability to half press to focus and then push down all the way to take a photo. I really need that to happen now, because at the moment when I half press down, it launches up this scroll through option menu, which I don't want most of the time, but I can't help psychologically from half pressing that button down. The second thing is that I would like to be able to turn off some of these options within the controls, just remove them from the option. I have found that just in general use, I occasionally scroll over to this new tone control, and I'll talk about this in another video at some point. But when I scroll over to this tone video, you get to adjust all of the different tone settings here, and it's not something that I want to really be able to do on the fly. Even more so is the styles button. So if I scroll over to vibrant, I didn't mean to do that, but quite often I find that I can do it. Now, it's not a big deal because you can edit the images after the fact to change the style back to what you want. But I do find that I just prefer to be able to remove some of these options. Another one is cameras versus zoom. Now, I don't ever really want to use this zoom because it's a digital incremental zoom in between the actual cameras, and that just isn't what I would use on a camera phone. Whereas if I switch to cameras, here I can go to ultra wide, standard, or zoomed in, and I feel like that's a better use case for me. So being able to do that rather than using the actual zoom function here would be much better. Overall though, I think it's pretty good implementation. I do find, particularly on the 16, that the buttons may be a bit too far in to be comfortable to use. And as I said before, I still find myself hitting this button way too often in order to take photos. So over time, I'm sure that will change, but for now, it's still a learning process for myself. Thanks for watching. Let me know in comments if you have any thoughts about the camera shutter button, whether it's good, whether you've tried it or not, and don't forget to like and subscribe.